The butterfly effect is the theoretical concept that small things can start chains of events that result in much more consequential things in the future. No action, no matter how small, is without consequence, and this principle of our world holds true in the Star Wars universe too. In this video, we'll be looking at 3 small actions that led to a massive consequence for the entire galaxy. Anakin Skywalker's fall to the dark side. The rise of Darth Vader was 13 years in the making, and countless factors contributed to it. Even before Anakin became a Jedi, the seeds had been planted, thanks to the abuse under Watto and Garjula the Hutt. As a Jedi, many small factors drove him ever closer to the dark, including the manipulations of Palpatine, the Jedi Council's distrust of him, and Obi-Wan Kenobi's difficulty in training him. The Clone Wars also introduced many more factors, starting with the death of Shmi Skywalker and Anakin's marriage to Padme Amidala, and ending with the political maneuvering that ultimately drove him over the edge. In this list, we'll be looking at smaller factors in Anakin's decisions, but still ones that, had they been absent, likely would have prevented his ultimate fall. At our number 3 spot, we have Ahsoka's decision to leave the Jedi Order. The framing and trial of Ahsoka Tano was one of the greatest mistakes of the Jedi Council made during the Clone Wars, and that's saying something. In refusing to defend Ahsoka and consider the possibility of her innocence, they refused to properly seek justice so as to avoid political fallout, a move that contradicted the foundations of the Order. It was for this reason that, when she was proven innocent, Ahsoka ultimately decided not to return to the Jedi Order, having lost faith in them. Needless to say, this had a profound effect on Anakin, whose own faith in the Order was beginning to slip. Ahsoka's trial and departure showed him that the Jedi could in fact be wrong, and this contributed significantly to Anakin's fall. Next up is an example from Revenge of the Sith itself, the murder of Count Dooku. Dooku's murder crossed the line for Anakin. While he had killed in cold blood before, he had never executed an unarmed prisoner, which to the Jedi was an entirely indefensible act. In the moment at which Anakin has his and Dooku's lightsabers at the Sith Lord's neck, he is balanced between the light and the dark and is teetering on the edge. The murder essentially pushed him down the path of the dark side and proved to Sidious that his new apprentice was ready to fall. If Anakin hadn't killed Dooku, he wouldn't have taken that major step, and furthermore, he wouldn't have had the foundation for the step that pushed him over the edge. The juxtaposition of Dooku's murder with Mace Windu's attempted murder of Palpatine in their duel in the Chancellor's office is what finally convinced Anakin that the Jedi and Sith were no different, a revelation that pushed him into the latter order. Our final entry is on this list, but we do not grant it the rank of Master. In all seriousness, the Jedi Council's refusal to make Anakin a Jedi Master, in violation of their own protocol, was actually a major factor in Anakin's fall, and not in the way you would think. Jedi Masters were the only Jedi allowed unrestricted access to anything in the Jedi Archives and the Holocron Vaults, places that, after his meeting with Palpatine at the Opera, Anakin had intended to check for records of Darth Plagueis and historical examples of Jedi in his situation. Because of the secret nature of his relationship with Padme, he wouldn't be able to ask another master to retrieve the information for him. And so, when Palpatine put him on the Jedi Council, he was excited not because of the honor, but because he believed it would grant him the permissions he believed that he needed to save his wife. But it didn't. In violation of their own rules, purely for petty political reasons, the Jedi Council refused to make Anakin a Jedi Master, simply to spite Palpatine. This drove Anakin toward the dark side by destroying his faith in the Jedi Order, allowing Palpatine to turn him. If the Jedi Council had followed their own rules, not only would have Anakin kept his faith in the Order, but he also would have been able to search the Jedi Archives and discover that, in fact, Darth Plagueis was not known to the Jedi, something that would have resulted in Palpatine's arrest without Anakin's interference. So those are 3 things that could have prevented Anakin's fall to the dark side had they not happened. But as per usual, guys, I want to know what you think. I know there's so many other examples of the butterfly effect that could have stopped all this, but I want to know your guys' favorites and the ones that stick out to you the most. Anyways, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.